everybody, my name is Kim Nguyen and welcome into my channel. I am the American woman who's going to be doing a special review for you today for BTS's performance on MTV Unplugged with the song Fix You. If this is your first time at my channel, I want to let you know that I've created videos mainly to aim at Americans who are new to BTS or the K-pop genre. In each of my videos, I'm going to explain a little bit about the artist and a little bit about the song so we can share information together. And of course, I welcome everybody else who's interested in learning more about this genre, and especially I love hearing from you guys if you are ARMY, because I usually get the best suggestions and the best information for you. So I welcome everybody in. BTS is not the first artist to have done such a cover for the song Fix You by Coldplay. They are the first Korean group, though, to perform this on the much acclaimed stage of MTV Unplugged. According to Rolling Stone, this recent performance on MTV Unplugged featured the 7-member boy band from South Korea. They are the pop powerhouse named BTS, otherwise known as Bangtan, delivered what they called, quote, an angelic, meticulously arranged, goosebump-inducing cover of the song. BTS performed a set of 5 songs within 30 minutes on various sets and different costumes to match the mood. They did live renditions of the track from their recent B album, which featured several songs such as the emotional Blue and Gray, the electropop of Telepathy, and of course a couple of famous songs that hit the Billboard featuring Life Goes On, plus their smash hit Dynamite that was sung all in English. And as a surprise performance for their fans, they did another all-English song, this time popular song called Fix You. Speaking about the decision as to why they chose to do this cover for Fix You, according to Jimin, he said, quote, "The song gave us comfort, so we prepared this cover to comfort you as well." Jin, the oldest member of the group, he said that we were trying to convey the message of healing and comfort to our fans. RM, the leader of the group, he said, performing on MTV Unplugged, quote, "It's really an honor to be part of the MTV Unplugged legacy where so many legends have performed. We're deeply thankful." According to Jungkook, the youngest member of the family, he said, quote, "All of the songs on our albums are special to us. We don't get many chances to perform our B-side tracks at our concerts, so we're thrilled to perform them on MTV Unplugged." BTS was prepping for a global tour when the pandemic hit. Undeterred, BTS began working on what was to be a smashed album called B, which was released in November of 2020. Then on February 23rd of 2021, BTS became the first K-pop group to perform on the legendary MTV Unplugged stage series. They've already established themselves as legendary status, and they will join the likes of other legends that have previously performed before them. This includes the likes of Mariah Carey, Bon Jovi, Jay-Z, and of course, Nirvana. Arguably, the highlight of their entire MTV Unplugged performance was a surprise performance cover of Coldplay's 2005 hit called Fix You. Another report said this cover was very important and notable in a couple ways. First of all, it is the second song that BTS would have sung all in English right after their hit Dynamite, which is up for a Grammy nomination. The other thing you must know is that BTS is a 7-member band. 3 of those singers are rap artists. The remaining 4 are what they call vocalists. So we had the rap line and the vocal lines. And this will be the first time we are going to hear the rap line singing with harmonies with the vocal line. This is something very rare considering most of the type of music that they do. And now they've included a rock pop type of ballad into their mix. Their performance was described as a very simple setting where they are all seated in a row on stools with little production beyond the lighting. They give a transcendent performance. Going back to the Fix You song, Fix You was actually a song by the British band called Coldplay, accompanied by piano and guitar. The first half can be described as more of an alternative rock style, and in the second half was featuring more electric guitar, bass and drums. According to one interview with Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, he was reluctant to admit it that when the song came out, he originally wrote Fix You, at least in part in comfort to his then wife, Gwyneth Paltrow, after the death of her father. And according to fans and many reports, Coldplay does allow cover, but doesn't really allow a lot of people to cover their songs, especially in commercial settings and things like that, because they're very protective of their work. And especially with this song, according to Chris, this is one of the most important songs that he's ever written. Broadcast from Seoul, Korea, quote, "What is most impressive about BTS is that they are forging a path in an industry that is less than accepting of non-white artists and international artists, and doing it with style and true artistry." They further stated that the Septet already established themselves as legends long before they achieved multiple number ones on the Billboard or became Grammy nominees. But BTS are continuing to build their legacy, ensuring that their names are carved into music history. And I couldn't have agreed and summarized that any better. So if you haven't seen the original music video performance, I'm going to highly recommend that you go ahead and watch the original first and then come back here and take a look at my reaction, because MTV has very strict copyright rules. A lot of videos have been taken down from that, and so I'm going to make sure there's going to be a lot of edits to this, and I'm going to do a lot of pauses as well as I give my input, okay? So with that said, let's get started. Beautiful spotlight shining on each member. Okay, before we get started, when they opened up, first you hear they're all seated in stools. The background is very simple as described, and I think in this kind of performance you want the vocals and the artists to be highlighted and not so much of the distraction. There's no choreography in this. This is very much vocally based. Starting from left to right, we have Jimin. Then we have Jungkook with the blonde hair. Then we have Suga. He is one of the rap artists. Then we have V. Then we have J-Hope. He is another rapper. Next to J-Hope is Jin. Jin is the oldest in the group. And next to Jin is RM. He is the leader of the group, and my bias. Look how dashing and handsome they all look in their designer Thom Browne fashion, which I will talk about a little bit later, okay? These guys look like 7 angels as they open up in the dark. You have spotlights shining down on each person one at a time. Very angelic, it sets the mood in the stage. Okay, that was Jungkook. He has amazing falsettos. He uses, a lot of times I think it's the falsettos he uses called the head voice versus a chest voice is what I usually hear. And he switches, if you notice, he switches from his head voice and then he goes down to back down his chest. And he does that effortlessly. It's like a smooth transition. So that tells you he's got years of training and using those vocal tools that he has. Amazing. This is V. Okay. V is also starting out in his falsetto. V, however, has a very unique range. He can go very deep. And in fact, he's one of the deeper tone. I'm not sure if he can, I think I need somebody who voice coach to let me know, but he has a very deep voice, almost very rich and smoky and heavier compared to, let's say, Jungkook, who's more of the lighter, the brighter tenors, okay? But V can hit those very high falsetto ranges, so he has an amazing range. He has such a unique, distinct, and beautiful and sultry voice. So I'll talk about V a little bit later here. Oh my God. It's Jin. Okay, I gotta go back to that. That was beautiful. That was Jin. So let me go back here. That was Jin, the oldest, along with RM, our leader here. Jin, again, another amazing tenor. Every time I hear Jin's voice, it's very clear and clean to me. He has, the first time I saw BTS really have vocal abilities was in a song called Stay Gold. That, again, similar slow ballad. That's when you're going to hear their vocal talent. We're so used to seeing the high energy, very athletic, sometimes very fun dances, and we love that, yes. But when they sit down and do no choreography and just sing those lower, softer ballads, that's when you hear them do their vocal ranges. They'll belt out the notes, or they'll blend in and harmonize beautifully. And Stay Gold was one of those songs. For the first time I heard their voices, I knew these guys were amazing artists all the way around. Not just dancing and performing, but vocal artists as well, who can ignite passion and emotion and sadness in whatever mood or theme their song is. And when I heard Jin for the first time, he belted out that high note in Stay Gold, and he is a strong vocalist at those high ranges. So if you get a chance, take a look at my Stay Gold reaction. You'll see what I'm talking about. And then RM. RM is my bias. He's got that lower baritone bass. He sounded amazing with Jin. I think this is the first time I'm seeing Jin and RM doing this type of harmonization, and they sound beautifully. And the contrast from the high tenor of Jin, clean and crystal and lighter tone. He also does the falsetto, but then he goes down into his chest voice as well, effortlessly. Then we have RM stepping in. RM is a rapper, and he's not rapping at all. He's just singing, and he's holding down, he's grounding that melody and just harmonizing so beautifully. It's like ear candy. And he looks so handsome. He's my bias. Nice rubato. God, RM sounds so good. Okay, that was Jimin. Jimin is one of the vocalists. He also is a very high tenor. I almost want to say between him and Jungkook, maybe he is also probably the highest tenor on some of the songs. Very unique voice. Jimin's voice just stands out like V's voice to me. It's very unique tenor. It almost sounds like he doesn't even try to sing it in his head, or it's just very natural. It comes out, and he's singing softly and angelically and beautifully. And he doesn't need to sing loud to make his words known, to make his passion, or to tell the story. He just sings it effortlessly, and it sounds beautiful. And I forgot to mention, you're starting out, we're hearing organ. It's very basic. You're hearing organ, and these are like very it's like the, it's like these long sustained notes with the organ that's just basically playing, and then you have the vocals coming in to complement that. Just very nicely done. The piano. Oh my god. Jungkook and RM harmonizing. I have to give props right now to RM. He is doing a beautiful job of blending in with these tenors. He's got that baritone. He keeps it kind of simple. His tone would sound like when he's talking in normal conversation versus, you know, real singy-songy. And he's almost like, I don't know how to describe it. He's like the winds beneath their wings, where he's letting the tenors, you know, kind of highlight their voices, and yet he's keeping this ground. And I think it sounds amazing in this harmonization, because I think without that baritone, that bass, it would sound very different. The song would sound very different, and it's beautiful. RM is doing a wonderful job of not overpowering the tenor voices. Just beautiful job. I'm so impressed with RM right now. Also amazing grounding of the song, Suga and V. Who's harmonizing with Jimin right now? Oh, J-Hope. Oh my god. J-Hope looks amazing right now. I didn't even really pay attention to him. Oh my god, he caught my attention in another song. You may have heard of it, the MMA 2020 with the breakdance in Dynamite, when he wore that purple suit. He looks just so handsome. And I think I was commenting on how when these guys comb their hair back, it shows their face, their handsome face, and he's got that hairdo right now, which I'm loving. And this hair is what got me crazy on that video. So if you get a chance, watch my reaction to the MMA 2020 Dynamite with the dance break. It was probably my best reaction video that you guys love the most. But look how handsome he looks. He looks like a movie star in here. RM is my bias, but right now, I'm going to be honest, he caught my eye totally. And J-Hope also is actually another amazing singer. All of these rappers, I've heard them on other songs, and I've heard them on their individual songs, is they can sing. This group has rappers that can sing, and J-Hope is one of those singers as well. He is also doing an amazing job of grounding down the baritone, more of the, you know, the lower octave per se, and complementing the higher tonals of the tenors. He's so handsome. Look at him. He should be in film. Beautiful. That was so beautiful. Here comes the guitar. Here comes the... Beautiful. They're just vibing out right now. Here comes those drums. Nice lights. The beat is picking up now. That's a faster rhythm. That's Jimin. Jimin, RM. Oh my gosh. Again, RM with another singer. This is the third harmonization he's doing. He did it with Jin, he did it with Jung Jungkook, and now he's doing this with Jimin. Every single tenor that he's been matched up with, he did an amazing octave lower than them, basically. It's what it sounded like, you know. And RM has one of the deeper voice as well in this group, and I love his voice. And he's so handsome too. He's my bias. He looks dashing. We'll talk about his drip a little bit later, but I have to, right now, I'm gonna be honest, RM is sticking out for me as far as the voices in here so far, and I'm gonna hold back till we finish this, and I'll tell you who the tenor voice that's standing out for me right now is. They look all dashing. That's Jin and Suga. Okay, on that high note, that was amazing. That was Jin. Let me go back to Jin here. Jin, again, one of my favorite tenors from this group. He can belt those high notes out with strength, and he does that great. His enunciation on some of these, using an extra syllable, for example, when he says instead of I, he says hi. He puts the H in there, hi, hi, and then at the end you hear the little vibrato. Belting out those strong top voice, so high these pitches are. J-Hope and B. J-Hope's so handsome. Who's this? RM and Jungkook. I swear to God, RM, he's doing an amazing job right now. That's V. Closing it out. That sultry, deeper voice. I have to say that was so beautiful. This was the first time I've seen the rap line sitting down, no choreography. They are just using their voices to convey the message and the emotions that they're feeling and wanting us to feel. And this is the first time I'm seeing the rap line with the vocalized harmonizing their heart out, and they sound amazing. All of these guys sounded amazing, but for me, like I said, the standout on this one is RM. RM just went in there and harmonized beautifully with every single tenor that he was paired up with. Now, I wasn't familiar with, in all honesty, I have heard of Coldplay, but I'm not familiar with a lot of their music. I had to go back and listen to what the original Fix You sounded like. If somebody who knows, let me know, but it sounded like they kept the arrangement pretty close from what I understand. Very close as far as the key, the arrangement that they were in. They didn't diverge too far from it. What I did see a lot of here is what they call pairing of two people with different range and tones. You have, again, the high tenors with the rappers, more of a baritone, more of the bass, more of the grounding voices, and they didn't overpower the tenors. They let them kind of shine per se, but yet they still grounded it, and you can still hear them, and they blended in beautifully. You have 7 members here with 7 different tones and a variety of ranges that all of these singers can hit, and they've done their job beautifully, incorporating their voice or lending their voice to one another, or when they're singing by themselves. And what I'm hearing is when they started out, you hear the falsettos with Jungkook, and then with Jin, they are using a lot of their head voices, and again they have that scale. They can just slide up into the head voice and do the falsettos, and then come back down into the chest. Beautiful transition, because they know they've trained their voices to do that, and they know how to do that, and it sounds amazing. So let's take a look at when we first start out with Jungkook. Jungkook tends to do a lot of falsettos in his head. And I mean his head voice. So it tends to be very, very up here, very light, like a lot of the tenor voices are. Breathy. He tends to be a lot of breathy when he does that, and light and airy is how he keeps it. And then when we go to RM has that low kind of, the baritone, the smokiness, the deeper voice. And then again you have Jin, who's more the lighter, airy tenor that's coming out. And again, when he uses the sometimes I, so instead of saying he goes hi. He puts an H in there, that puts that extra air there, hi, for the effect. And then sometimes you hear them sing all at the same time, the same note, with their different voices, and with the 7, the harmonies. and the texture of different tones of voices, you know, just adds to the performance and just makes it so much more richer and more interesting. And notice when the song, it starts with a slower pace with just the organ, the sustained organs, for a long time. As the song progressed, and it slowly starts to accelerate per se in terms of its speed, to the point where it gets into a crescendo. Okay, and that's when you start hearing the drums and the electric guitars comes in and the piano and everything else. Just really nice. And I think I appreciate that BTS try to keep it as close to the original as possible and added their own little touch on this song. I think it does pay respect. It does give homage to Coldplay and their song, because the original song is amazing and beautiful as it was. So they didn't need to do a whole lot to it. They just added their 7 amazing voices to it, and it turned into a beautiful cover. Not only do fans love this rendition, and it has been so widely viewed, and love this cover of Coldplay, but Coldplay themselves actually saw this performance, and what did they think? Well, Coldplay sent all of their love to BTS. The British group included a link to the special and wrote "beautiful" in Korean and "love" in English, along with the band members' individual initials in their tweet. The video was shared by Coldplay on their official Twitter account, and it was the top trending music-related video on YouTube in the US. So it doesn't get any better than that type of stamp of approval from one legend to another. Now, let's take a look at their drip. Talk about their fashion. Each of their sets that they did, including this one, they all had designer fashion on. So let's take a look at that a little bit here. For this particular song performance of Fix You, they wore fashion all from Thom Browne. Starting with Jungkook, he wore the Super 120s twill suit, which is medium gray, made in Italy. Alright, next we have Suga. I love Suga's voice. Suga is wearing a 4-bar Milano stitch sport coat, medium gray sport coat, also made in Italy. Now we're going to go to Jimin. So Jimin is wearing a merino wool contrast sleeve cardigan, parallel design. There are 3 shades of gray. It is V-necked with a ribbed contrasting sleeve, buttoning, fastening, and a signature 4-bar design. Next up is Jin. Jin is wearing the fun mixed Milano stitch fine merino wool crew neck Shetland and 4-bar pullover that is also in tonal gray color. Now with J-Hope, he's double layered in Thom Browne. First of all, we have the 4-bar V-neck cardigan that's made of wool and cashmere blend. It has a V-neck, a front button fastening, long sleeves, 2 front pockets, a ribbed high cuffs. He's also got the 4-bar stripe detail to the sleeve, and then he also has a medium gray wool cashmere flannel classic tonal 4-bar sport coat that is double vent, single breasted, with 2 flap pockets, a single chest pocket, stripe lining signature rose grain loop tab. And finally, RM. He's so handsome. Now with RM, he is also decked out in the Super 120 twill 2-piece suit that is gray in color, also made in Italy. These boys are all decked out. They looked amazing. They sounded amazing. And Suga said something really interesting. He said, quote, "We were supposed to show you these stages at a live concert, so we're sorry we had to do it remotely, but hope many of you still enjoy it." J-Hope added, "We wait for the day when we can sing for you in person. We will do our best, and until then, we love you." So I think that summarizes everything. BTS giving us an amazing, surprising, and amazing and beautiful, touching cover that even Coldplay was proud of. So we are so proud of them, and we love them back in return. I hope you enjoy my music video reaction. If you do, please give this a like. Please share some comments if you want to. Let me know what you thought about the performance, and if you want to, go ahead and subscribe. Okay? Please check out all of my other music video reactions. Let me know what you think about them, and until then, I'll see you in the next video.